My name is Greg Foreman, and you're watching A Black Conservative Perspective. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share A Black Conservative Perspective, a.k.a. a leftist worst nightmare. You can also follow me on Twitter at GForemanBCP. Let's get it. All right, guys. Things are getting spicy. The Trump legal team may have dropped a bomb that may be bigger than the Moab. Because I don't think the Moab is a nuke. A nuke is bigger than the Moab. I think they might have dropped a hydrogen bomb. That's what I think the level of this surveillance footage that we now have from the Trump legal team is. It is a hydrogen bomb. So they presented this footage at the Georgia Senate hearing, in which this footage is surveilling ballot counters while they are counting these ballots late at night. Take a look at it.
At about 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to roll this back and show it to you. There you go. So now they're going to start pulling these ballots out from under this table. This table, the black one, was placed there by the lady with the blonde braids at about 8:22 a.m. in the morning. So she put that table there. So the same person who's staying behind now, the same person who cleared the place out under the pretense that we're going to stop counting, is the person who put the table there at 8:22 in the morning. Yeah, I saw 4 suitcases come out from underneath the table. Yeah, upper right hand, you see the gentleman in the red. So he just pulled one out. So what are these ballots doing there, separate from all the other ballots? And why are they only counting them whenever the place is cleared out with no witnesses? Is the question. So these machines can process about 3,000 ballots an hour. You have multiple machines there, and they're there for 2 hours. So you do the math. How many ballots went through those machines in those 2 hours when there was no one there to supervise, to be present, consistent with your statutes and rules, to supervise the tabulation? We believe that could easily be, and probably is certainly, beyond the margin of victory in this race.
So it looks like they sent everybody home, right, late at night. And when people were gone, they continued to count ballots, and they were pulling ballots that were in suitcases from under shelves and counting them while nobody was there to check. Okay? That in and of itself is sketchy. And before you come to a conclusion about what exactly it is, you should at least be open-minded enough to take in the information, take in the footage, and to ask yourself questions before already coming to a conclusion. However, that's not what Georgia's state senator, Elena Parent, did. She tried to debunk the video despite it never being shown to the public. Take a look.
Thank you for being with us. We heard from the Secretary of State's office earlier, just a couple hours ago, that they've investigated this repeatedly, that they had a monitor on site the entire time. And frankly, this has been debunked for weeks by our Secretary of State's office.
I doubt he's seen the video.
Then I think the courts will probably be able to handle this once you present your evidence to them. As I'm aware, there have been about 40 lawsuits dismissed already. And according to the law of the state of Georgia, we do not have the power to submit alternate electors. The provision in the law is quite clear at 21-501F.
Is there a question?
Senator, we'll ask questions. We'll have a time for statements at the conclusion.
My question is, since this has been debunked repeatedly, what evidence can you give to us that counters what our elections officials have presented us with only an hour ago?
You just saw it. Your officials need to watch the video.
What about the fact that they say that they had a monitor there the entire time?
I can't speak for them.
Well, thank you.
They did not have a video.
They said they had a monitor the whole time.
You're looking at the room.
There's no
Secretary of State.
Then maybe we should invite them back in.
All right. Well, we may need to do that. Okay, Senator Parent, one more question.
Did you mention that Chairman Pitts was there, or you spoke to him about being there during this episode?
I was not there. This is a witness affidavit that says he was there.
Okay.
Almost up until he was one of the last people to leave. Not as late as the witnesses that we have, but he was there.
So he just told us he wasn't there just an hour ago.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
One of the witness affidavits says he's there.
Well, okay. So we heard from.
Senator Brass? No, ma'am. We need to move on. We have a lot of questions. Senator Gooch?
Maybe a question for Senator Parent. I heard you say several times this has been debunked, but I also just heard that this video just appeared last night. So how could it have been debunked?
Well, my response, not being an expert, is that these very allegations came up right away after the election, almost a month ago, and have been repeatedly discussed by the Secretary of State's office, including everything that we're seeing here.
But is this
And
not
there have been explanations for all of it.
Is this not the first time this video has been shown?
I believe that this is the
Yes.
first time this video has been
Yes.
seen.
And
It is.
And
That's
the news
correct.
media hasn't seen this video or have not?
They have
put it
not.
out? They have
That's
not.
right.
Because
put
I've
it out.
been in contact with counsel for the State Farm Arena, and
Will be today.
Okay, Senator.
Well, I'm not an expert, but we've already seen the state of Georgia debunk this already. They've already had explanations for this.
You can't make this stuff up. So if you're not an expert, then why are you trying to debunk it? Why are you even speaking on it like this for? Everybody else at that meeting are asking questions to try to gather more information. But Senator Parent already had her mind made up. She already had her mind made up. Did you notice what she did when she asked the first question? She was like, well, a couple hours ago, the Secretary of State already had debunked all this. He had debunked this. They debunked this video, implying that they had debunked the actual video. And then it's like, wait, how did they debunk the video if this is the first time we've ever seen this video? And then after she got called out on that, she was like, well, you know, they've debunked these allegations, these kind of allegations. They've debunked that. They didn't debunk the video. They debunked the allegation, in which she also happened to admit that she's not an expert, which means that she's basically saying, well, I don't really know what I'm talking about. However, my mind is made up on this, and I believe that there's no evidence that you can show me to change my mind.